A streak of crimson marked my cheek, the color of betrayal itself. Liliana, my wife of 10 years, swayed unsteadily in the doorway, reeking of cheap tequila mixed with a faint floral scent that wasn't her usual perfume. "Sorry I'm late, babe," she slurred, pressing a sloppy kiss against my cheek. "Girls' night ran a little long." Then she laughed, a sound that once brought me joy but now sent chills down my spine. Something was terribly wrong. It wasn't the first time she'd come home late lately, dismissing my concerns with weak excuses, missed calls, hushed conversations, a sudden obsession with her looks, vague replies, and anxious glances. Signs I forced myself to ignore, convincing myself I was just overthinking. But the pit in my stomach grew heavier with every dodged question. That night, after she passed out, her phone buzzed quietly on the nightstand. I knew I shouldn't, but suspicion had taken root too deeply. I reached for it. A text from a contact saved as Spa Day lit up the screen. "Last night was incredible. Already miss you. X." My hands shook as I unlocked the messages. They stretched back weeks. Secret meetings, passionate exchanges, whispered endearments. My world spun. Liliana, my caring, witty, loving Liliana, was cheating on me. But it was the voicemails that shattered me more than any text ever could. I pressed play. The first message was a man's voice, smooth and confident. "Hey, beautiful. Just thinking about you. Can't wait to see you tomorrow." The second was hers, breathless and joyful. "Oh, Daniel, I can't stop thinking about you either. Being with you means everything." The name hit me like a hammer. I sat in the dark, clutching her phone, the life I thought I knew crumbling around me. I didn't cry. I didn't scream. I went numb. But beneath the numbness, a cold resolve began to form. The next morning, she awoke with a hangover and a flicker of unease in her eyes. I handed her a mug of coffee, keeping my tone calm. "How was girls' night?" She took a sip but avoided meeting my gaze. "Fun. Too much tequila." "Oh, I bet," I said, letting a subtle edge slip into my voice. She didn't seem to notice. "Did you make it to that spot too?" I asked. Her hand jerked, and coffee spilled onto the table. "What? What are you talking about?" Without replying, I pulled out her phone and played the second voicemail. Her voice filled the room, confessing everything to Daniel. She went pale, her breath catching. Who is Daniel?" I asked, my voice low but steady. She tried to answer but faltered, her face already revealing the truth. "I can explain." "Explain what?" I finally snapped, my voice breaking. "Explain how you could betray me like this, how you could betray us." In the days that followed, the full story revealed itself like a cruel puzzle. Daniel was a coworker, someone she met at a conference. The girls' nights were just a cover, alibis for secret rendezvous. She insisted it was a mistake, nothing more than a fleeting fling. But nothing about it felt accidental. My world shattered. Yet amid the ruins, something inside me began to harden. I refused to let this define who I was, not forever. But first I had to face him. Tracking Daniel down was easier than I expected. Social media painted a clear picture: charming, accomplished, a family man. One chilly evening, I waited outside his office. The moment he spotted me, his expression shifted. "You're Liliana's husband." "That's right," I replied, calm but firm. "We need to talk." No yelling. No threats. Just facts. I laid everything out, every message, every call, every lie. I played the voicemails for him. The confidence drained from his face. He stammered, denied, tried to pin the blame on Liliana. I met his gaze steadily. "You ruined my marriage," I said quietly. "Now I'm going to ruin yours." I left him there, trembling and defeated. I knew he had a wife, children, and I knew they'd be shattered by the truth before long. Revenge wasn't satisfying. It wasn't sweet, but it was cold, hard justice. What came next was a whirlwind. Lawyers, papers, dividing the life we had built together. Liliana begged for forgiveness. She cried, pleaded, but I couldn't unsee the truth, couldn't unhear her voice whispering another man's name with tenderness. A few months later, the divorce was finalized. She moved out, regret lingering in every look and unspoken word. I heard Daniel's wife left him too, taking their children with her. His reputation crumbled, his future unraveled. No happiness came from their downfall, only emptiness. Nobody won. I sold the house, our home, and started over. It wasn't easy. The silence was deafening, the loneliness overwhelming. But gradually, I began to heal. I immersed myself in work, reconnected with friends, discovered new passions. Little by little, life seeped back into my veins. I learned to breathe again. Years went by. One day, I saw Liliana in a coffee shop. She looked older, worn down, the sparkle in her eyes faded. We spoke briefly, quietly. The past hovered between us, heavy, but no longer suffocating. She apologized. This time, I believed her. I forgave her, not for her sake, but for mine. Forgiveness wasn't acceptance. It wasn't forgetting. It was freedom. I released the burden I had carried for so long. The lipstick stain that once marked me with betrayal had faded. The pain had dulled. The scars remained, proof of survival, a symbol of strength, a vow to myself that I would love again, wiser and stronger. That, I realized, was victory in its purest form.